Another equally important response coming in, this from the Chinese embassy in New Delhi on the G20. It said, and this is both on the summit and on the Delhi declaration, it said the Delhi declaration reflects China's proposition. They've said the G20 summit in New Delhi adopted a leaders' declaration, sending a positive signal of the G20 working together to tackle global challenges and promote world economic recovery. They've also said the leaders' declaration reflects China's proposition and states that the G20 would act in concrete ways through partnerships. Now remember, while the declaration has already been arrived at, and that in itself signals that there was a consensus for it to be arrived at, we already know that China was on board with it. For China to put out this statement a few days after, what this statement means, particularly with the President Xi Jinping choosing not to attend. To understand all of this, my colleague Abhishek, a very positive readout coming from the Chinese embassy. Can you bring us more context?
Of course, China has been part of the G20 conversation and the deliberation. In fact, External Affairs Ministry has spoken about Chinese cooperation. Minister Jaishankar himself clearly underlined the fact that Chinese side has been very, very cooperative on bringing out the consensus and bridging the divide that the group was facing, especially in the wake of Russia-Ukraine conflict. So the role of countries or the member of G20 countries, especially an economic power like China, could not be undermined. President Xi Jinping did not come to the presidential leader summit level talks in Delhi, and there were apparently domestic reasons that were those were more urgent for the president to handle, and he sent his premier Li Qiang to Delhi, and the negotiations went well. So at the end of it, if all the parties have been happy and satisfied with the Delhi declaration, that tells a lot about G20 as a grouping being more successful, and leaders or individual, capacity of any leaders, if he hasn't come or he has been unable to come, that will not be as important now with the consensus that has been achieved, because we have seen President Putin also not coming, and his foreign minister Sergei Lavrov, Mexican president, also did not come, and his finance minister was here. Spanish Prime Minister could not come because he had COVID, and his foreign minister came, and he participated in the dialogue and deliberation. So clearly, some of the skips have been there at the level of leaders' presence, but then overall the entire G20 was successful because the consensus was created. People understood the realities of the current time, and that is something that we can cherish about.
Thank you, Abhishek, for that context on this story. 3 updates from the G20. The dust continues to settle.